Is he cheating or am I insane? Advice. Am I insane or is he cheating? My so and I had been engaged for 6 years but together for 8. We share a son who is 5. I, 34F, think he, 31M, has been having an affair with a female coworker. Stick it out with me, because it may be long, but I need opinions. My so was involved in a car accident in March of 2023. He called me freaking out since it was the first wreck he'd ever been in. I immediately told him I would leave work and come pick him up. Your first wreck is always pretty scary. He said he was going to drive his truck to work, even called me to tell me when he arrived safely, but said the truck was struggling, and then drive his truck home for insurance to come do an estimate at our home. Fast forward 6 weeks. He is at a family gathering with my family and was discussing his wreck where he accidentally slipped up and said he left his truck in the Wendy's parking lot after the wreck. I am baffled, but I just played it cool and said, "Who picked you up from your wreck?" He immediately said Matt, which is his male boss. I told him had that actually happened, he would have never lied to me about his male boss picking him up. He would have just said, "Hey, I left my truck, Matt is giving me a ride." After a few hours of him saying it was his boss he broke, he told me it was a female coworker, Kelly, who actually picked him up from the wreck. Prior to this wreck, the two of them were never on my radar. I didn't suspect a thing. But this clearly broke boundaries which I was uncomfortable with, and we have a 3-year-old son at this time, so I told him he had one chance to come clean. He is a golf professional, so the club he is at has a 6-month season. So when the course is closed, he still works and gets paid, but there are no members or anyone golfing. He later admitted that he and Kelly had gone to lunch during the off-season or would drive to the next town over, just the two of them. Had he told me up front I'm going to lunch with Kelly, I wouldn't have cared at all. It's the fact he lied about her picking him up in a pretty traumatic time. His truck was totaled when I offered multiple times to come get him. And then after I find out the truth about the wreck, he disclosed small details that the two of them would go to lunch together. But it's not like that. There just isn't a cook there in the off-season, so they have to eat. At this point, I'm pretty confident it's much more than he is leading on. Come January of 2024, the PGA show rolls around. This is a show for current golf pros to go learn new things and see new attire coming out for the next season. Kelly is the club merchandiser, so she too will be going to the PGA show. I told my so I wasn't crazy about Kelly, Matt, and my so going, but I assumed with Matt there, since he's both their bosses, it really was business. Well, 2 days before the show, my so tells me Matt had a family emergency and can no longer go. So, my so and Kelly went to Florida for an entire week, just the two of them sharing a condo. To which he said, "We had separate rooms." Naturally, after this trip and previous lies, I started to get really uncomfortable and would ask questions regarding her. But he would explode and tell me I need psychiatric help, and I'm crazy. I'm insane, and he'd always be like, "Well, ask her." We've been working on my childhood home, which is a fixer-upper, for over a year, and had plans to move in very soon. But something in the back of my mind was like, maybe I should ask her for peace of mind. We're moving into a new house, and I don't want to bring old problems and insecurities into this new home. I did not tell him, but I reached out to her, told her I was not mad at her or didn't blame her. I just needed to know for my peace of mind, because I'd been told that there never has been nor never will be anything between the two of them. Although my so has lied about her to me in the past, and also omitted her name, even if she was present for the event, outing, etc. I ended my message with saying, "I hate to ask, but I need to know before we move into a new house. Has there or was there ever anything emotionally or physically inappropriate between the two of you?" She simply thumbs ups the message. So in my mind, that was confirmation that everything I suspected was indeed true. I took a thumbs up as yes, but I'm not saying anymore. So I wait 20 more minutes to see if she will respond. When she didn't respond, I sent my so a text saying that I reached out to her and asked myself, and I think it's best he not move to my new house with me, and it's time to separate. All he can say is, "You reached out to my co-worker, my place of employment. You are insane. I cannot believe you would do that." Remember I said she liked my message. I waited 20 minutes to see if she would respond. She did not, and then I told so. Within 1 minute of me telling so, I spoke to her. I get a message back from her. Keep in mind she responds only after my so now knows I reached out to her, and sends the most professional BS message back, saying, there never has been nor will be anything more than a working relationship between so and I. Yes, we go to lunch in the winter, but it's just that. I have no idea as to why he would hide any of that information from you. The PGA show was a work trip and never felt like anything other than a work trip. I can assure you that. I hope this eases your mind. Now y'all call me crazy. But you just thumbs up my message for 20 minutes, not a single word, and after I tell I sent a message to you. I get a response from you less than I kid you, not less than a minute later. Tell me they weren't talking about it, or doing the whole what did you say? What should I say? Thing. He couldn't say anything to me because I would know Kelly told him I messaged her, but the minute I myself messaged she responds to me in under a minute. So, that day I went home, packed my stuff, and moved back into my childhood home without him, and we are splitting time with our son. He keeps playing the victim card saying he's done nothing wrong. She even told me that blah blah. But no one lies about another female over and over if there truly isn't something to hide, right? If you have read this far, thank you. But please tell me, was my so having an affair or am I being insane?